Hi, you're watching Catalyst Plus TV, the place to be to make more possible. Today we're looking at the tax obligation as an individual. Now, I know that there's been a lot of advertising that says if you want to do your tax return online, you have to get it completed by the 31st of October. Now, this is true if you don't want to get a penalty. However, you still can complete your tax return online using your MyGov account. If you do have to pay a tax bill, then you probably will get a penalty. If you're actually lucky enough to get a tax refund, then you probably will only get a letter of warning. So this is a really great reason for you to get your tax return done before Christmas and make sure it's off your plate for the coming year. If you do have to pay a tax bill, then definitely find yourself a really great tax accountant, because that person has an extension until May to get all of their clients' tax returns done, and there's no penalty. So you still have no reason why not to get your tax returns done. Now, why am I banging on about getting your tax return completed? Let's face it, being an adult sometimes isn't that much fun. However, there are some things that can cause a bit of worry when it's completely unnecessary to do so. One of these things we find is having outstanding tax returns. And we find that a lot of clients that actually come to us have multiple tax returns outstanding, and it just gets too much for them. And then finally they say, enough is enough, I want to get on track. I want to know if I have to have a tax bill or if I'm going to get a refund. Now, in a previous blog, which we'll put a link to, we actually said that on average, the Australian individual will probably get a tax return anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. So that is a lot of money, and especially before Christmas, that you could be missing out on. We're not guaranteeing that everybody will have that situation. However, it is possible that you are one of those people that have money being held by the ATO. So get it into your back pocket instead of leaving it in the government's hand. So if you have any questions or queries, of course, get in touch with us and we will be more than happy to help you. If you are looking for a tax agent, you can book online below this blog and we will be able to help you get back on track. Now, there are a couple of things, if you are doing your tax return, that I would like for you to remember when it comes to deductions. The first is if you have more than $300 worth of deductions, you should have receipts, and you need to keep those receipts for 5 years from the date of lodging your tax return. The second is a common deduction that a lot of people don't know about. If with your wage and salary you have to wear a uniform, you're entitled to claim a maximum of $150 in the current financial year for your laundry allowance. That is up to 3 loads of washing per week with uniforms only. So on average, what you're supposed to do is $1 a load for your uniforms. If you're using the load with other clothes, then it's supposed to be 50 cents per load. But just in case, 150 is the maximum allowable deduction. The second thing to look out for is if you do use your vehicle for work purposes, you can only claim the travel between work to another workplace. So say, for instance, you have 2 jobs and you go from job A to job B with no stops in between. That is a deductible travel. However, if I went from job A to home and then to job B, that trip is not deductible. So wherever possible, make sure that you're traveling from job A to job B. Or if you're a tradie, make sure that you're only claiming from your first job to the next job and so forth until the end of the day. You do not claim the travel home. Just be careful of that. And the maximum amount of kilometers you can claim is 5,000 kilometers. And that should amount to about $3,000 as a deduction. Now, if you have a logbook, you can claim a portion of the percentage of business travel for your total use of the vehicle. And that sometimes, if you use your vehicle for a lot of business purposes, can oftentimes be a higher deduction. However, you need to keep that logbook, and it needs to be for 12 weeks, and we also have a blog all about it. So hopefully those little tips will help you prepare your own tax return. And there's plenty of information on our blog to help you as well. So take on the challenge that we are putting out today. And that is to get your tax return completed before Christmas and see how it makes you feel. And if you get that done, please put a comment below so that we know that this is really helping people. In the meantime, have yourself an awesome week, and we'll see you in next week's episode of Catalyst Plus TV.